Good evening. We are finishing up John 4. Jesus heals an official's son. And then next is John 5, healing at the pool. I didn't bring my readers over here again. But that's okay. I think I can still see. Jesus heals an official's son. After the 2 days, it's fine. After the 2 days, he left for Galilee. Okay, after the 2 days that Jesus was with the Samaritan woman and those people. Then he left for Galilee. Now Jesus himself had pointed out that a prophet has no honor in his own country. When he arrived in Galilee, the Galileans welcomed him. They had seen all that he had done in Jerusalem at the Passover festival, for they also had been there. I'm having trouble seeing. I'm so old. No, actually, it's just my contacts. My contacts prescription is so strong now, especially after COVID. It got way worse. So then it makes it hard to see up close. Once more he visited Cana in Galilee, where he had turned the water into wine. And there was a certain royal official whose son lay sick in Capernaum. When this man heard that Jesus had arrived in Galilee from Judea, he went to him and begged him to come and heal his son, who was close to death. "Unless you people see signs and wonders," Jesus said to him, "you will never believe." And that's true. Some of us like to see our signs and wonders, because how can you not believe after that? So, that's a true statement. The royal official said, "Sir, come down before my child dies." "Go," Jesus replied, "your son will live." The man took Jesus at his word and departed. When he was still on his way, his servants met him with the news that his boy was living. When he inquired as to the time when his son got better, they said to him, "Yesterday at 1 p.m, the fever left him." Then the father realized that this was the exact time at which Jesus had said to him, "Your son will live." So he and his whole household believed. This was the second sign Jesus performed after coming from Judea to Galilee. That's so interesting. He wants them all to believe without any signs and wonders, and yet he does give them the signs and wonders so that they will believe. Very patient with us. I'm slightly distracted. Will you bring me my glasses while you're over there? They're in my purse, kind of on the side pocket, like the front side pocket. But don't step by my purse because my dad's glasses are over there too. Can you see where they are? Inside the side pocket. Hold on. Yeah, thank you. And then I'll make the soup after this, okay? Thanks, honey. Sorry, let me clean these off really quick. All right, this is better. The healing at the pool. Sometime later, Jesus went up to Jerusalem for one of the Jewish festivals. Now there is in Jerusalem near the sheep gate a pool, which in Aramaic is called Bethesda, and which is surrounded by 5 covered colonnades. Here a great number of disabled people used to lie: the blind, the lame, the paralyzed. One who was there had been an invalid for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and learned that he had been in this condition for a long time, he asked him, "Do you want to get well?" "Sir," the invalid replied, "I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred. While I'm trying to get in, someone else goes down ahead of me." So these people, they thought, well, I'll lie around by this pool and then I'll go into the water and the water will like swirl around and somehow I'll be magically cured. And they're trapped there in this like living hell of, well, I can't be the first one to get into the water when the water is swirling around to like cure me. And they just lie there and they're like rotting away, dying. And it's so sad. And yet they are suffering. They are like paralyzed and stuff. It's not like they're faking it. And yet they don't really have a healer, you know? So they believe sort of that like this pool somehow will cure them. And of course it doesn't. And so then Jesus heals the guy. So he says, "Sir, okay, so he's like, because he's paralyzed, he's like, I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred. While I'm trying to get in, someone else goes down ahead of me." Then Jesus said to him, "Get up, pick up your mat, and walk." At once, the man was cured. He picked up his mat and walked. So two things had to happen there. A, Jesus was willing to heal him, and B, the man was willing to believe he was healed. To listen and to believe. The day on which this took place was a Sabbath, and so the Jewish leaders said to the man who had been healed, "It is the Sabbath. The law forbids you to carry your mats." And these people are like a-holes, you know, they really are. But he replied, "The man who made me well said to me, 'Pick up your mat and walk.'" So they asked him, "Who is this fellow who told you to pick it up and walk?" The man who was healed had no idea who it was, for Jesus had slipped away into the crowd that was there. Later, Jesus found him at the temple and said to him, "See, you are well again. Stop sinning or something worse may happen to you." The man went away and told the Jewish leaders that it was Jesus who had made him well. And that's interesting that Jesus says that. He's like, stop sinning or something worse might happen. And it's like he's not being threatening or rude, like, but there is an element of like, once you've been healed, right, and cured of whatever it was, say he had an impure spirit or whatever, something was making him paralyzed. And if Jesus takes that away and then you put yourself back into the scenarios where you're welcoming in the darkness again, right? Something bad might happen. It's kind of like saying to your children, stop running in the street, you're going to get hit by a car, right? Stop eating pizza every single night, you're going to give yourself cancer. Your body is going to get too acidic and you're not going to be able to fight off cancer. Like, do the right thing. Eat healthy foods. Get enough sleep. Don't have too much screen time. Stop sinning or something else bad is going to happen. There's truth to that. Not that people who are all like paralyzed or sick in some way caused that to themselves from sin. You know, not to take it to that extent. Not to act like, oh, somebody died early, they must have really sinned. You know, not to be like that about it. But there is an element of stay on the path of life. Get off the path of death, stay on the path of life, and life will be better, you know. The authority of the Son, testimonies about Jesus, and Jesus feeds the 5,000 is next. But this is kind of like, we are off. This whole video is a little off, so I think we should be done for the night. I read one of my devotionals earlier and then it had said something in there. I think it was Colossians. I can't remember which part exactly. I should have brought it over here. Colossians. But it was talking about, where's Colossians? Oh, there it is. I don't know. I don't remember the verse, but it made me ask, like, take away my pain and replace it with your peace and knowledge of like your will, of God's will. So can you take away my pain and replace it with peace, and also with knowledge of what is your will, God. And I'm telling you, within 15 minutes, I was like better. So I was like, well, that's quick. Because I was thinking about that, like, you don't have because you don't ask, kind of thing. And then I was like, because it's the second time lately where I've been asking, specifically praying for like calmness, peace, and calm, and just that stability. And there was a couple days ago, and I was like, am I too calm? Did I just go from like being so distraught about this one thing to being like, now am I this too calm? Like, should I be more worried or more stressed? Because I do get motivated by anxiety and stress. It does motivate me. Like, am I too chill about the situation? But then today I was super like stressed, not really stressed, but like sad. I was very sad about a particular situation. I was just so distraught about it, but I was busy and I had to work and I had stuff to do. So I just asked, to release that, take away that pain and replace it with peace, but not just peace, but also knowledge, like wisdom. What is God's will about this situation? And then I remember thinking, like 15 minutes later, I was like, man, I feel great. I feel better. How did that turn around so quickly? So I don't know. But anyway, that is it. I have my group tonight. I have to get ready for that and then make some soup. And then tomorrow they're coming to assess the washer, which I'm hoping they have to replace. We'll see. And then just more getting ready for Thanksgiving. So that is it. I hope you're having a good day. Bye.